Hello and welcome to Soundout Live for December 5th, 2022. We're going to be doing video game streaming for the first time on this new live event thing. In a minute here, you should be able to hear DarkClaw643. Let's test this and find out.
I'm back again, like always.
Alright, so the way this is going to work is we're going to have Ryan talk, and if he's too quiet, I'll bump the audio and lower the game volume.
I can hear myself, but I'll let the chat say if I'm too low or quiet.
Yeah, you guys let me know and I can adjust it. Because I'm still getting used to adjustments. I have this game is like actually technically kind of loud. Because I have the master volume set to 50. So, Ryan, okay, so Psycho says Ryan's a bit too loud. So Ryan, speak again.
Test. Hello, 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 hello.
No, don't open QuickTime Pair. Okay. Let me just lower his volume a little bit. Alright, that should be good for there.
Well, congratulations, Kinda, for backing Deathsaurus.
Yes, congrats on the Deathsaurus. We just reached the first tier, so we're getting stuff. Which is exciting, because I also have backed Deathsaurus. Yeah, I mean, here we are. So, today's stream is mostly just streaming Midnight Suns. I will take an intermission from playing Midnight Suns, and we'll open up this mysterious thing I have sitting next to me that I got in the mail, that you can see in the corner of the screen. And we'll do that. It's just kind of a little intermission, just trying to mix some media up. And also, for those that may be joining because I'm streaming Midnight Suns, you can comment in the chat if you haven't been on the channel before by hitting the subscribe button, because I set it to subscribers only, but you can just hit subscribe and then you can instantly comment. So, you know, that's how we get subscriber numbers to boost up. But, yeah, so pretty much, I don't have any other news topics. So I thought we're just going to, we're going to do game streaming. Hopefully it stays stable. I'm using remote play from the PlayStation, so we'll see how that goes. This is all experimental in a lot of ways. But yeah, I mean, things are good. We'll discuss things. So, because this is a video game stream, feel free to ask any questions at any time. And we will be going over it, and you guys can, you can ask me anything on this one. I'm going to start a mission, because I have everything ready to go. I'm going to do a mission with Nico. And now, yeah, so if anything's too loud, or if Ryan's too quiet, let me know, and I can adjust that. But yeah.
Alright, we got a question, at least I sort of follow up your figure arts video. My theory on why Bandai hasn't priced figure arts is because the anime price figures really took off for them in a crazy way. Banpresto anime statues has become the new Funko Pops.
Yeah, that's the thing I've been trying to I've been thinking about since doing the videos, how much Bandai has started going for the current anime market more than almost anything else. Alright, we're sending them on a mission.
Spin Dash, I miss when Banpresto made video games in the 90s. I mean, technically they still do with the Super Robot Wars games.
That's true, yeah, they definitely do that.
I don't remember they have involvement in G Generation or not, but it definitely has a similar
it's
engine.
An odd change of pace, but you're going to
Psycho says the game's too loud.
Rather than destroy
it. I'll lower it as soon as I can.
We will never forsake her.
Yeah, because this game is like running really hot. We'll lower it down to 35. Let's see if that's
Psycho's in the comments of the Super Action Figures video, someone mentioned another Titus release.
Yeah, apparently there's a Titus release in like China, like South China, I think.
Before they can do any serious damage. Those soldiers are targeting the device. Do whatever it takes to stop them.
I have to protect a Hydra device.
With SA4 Jason, we need a Hazlife X-Jet. See how the Robbie's car did. I'm not sure that you with top of the X-Men. Who knows if that'll do well? Because I mean, if you got in a 6-inch scale car was expensive, imagine a 6-inch scale jet.
Yeah,
Like
definitely thinking that. Gosh, yeah, the car didn't go well, so maybe I don't know if we'll ever get a. I don't think the next Marvel HasLab will be a vehicle, just because of that.
I mean, the only way I could see them doing it is making a HasLab X-Jet for the 3-4-inch figures.
Yeah.
Because at least that'll be more manageable than a 6-inch scale.
Do they even
Blackbird.
make 3 3/4-inch Marvel anymore?
I don't follow that line fully, so I don't know if they announced a new wave or not of those.
Yeah, I don't think they actually have in a while. Well, I guess they. Well, no, they have done the retro stuff. I guess I forgot about the retro stuff.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
That was what I was talking. The retro, the retro 3-1/4-inch line. Because at least with those, like, they're small enough where you can make vehicles for them. That's like that won't cost an arm and a leg to make.
Yeah.
And won't fail.
If anyone's curious what I'm playing, it's Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I guess I forgot to introduce the game we're playing here. Midnight Suns is a tactical strategy RPG game, which is. It just came out Friday. I've been playing it like all weekend, on and off. I'm really enjoying it because I like tactical strategy games, and I like Marvel characters, and I like that it's got kind of a focus on characters like Blade or Ghost Rider or like Nico Minoru. Oh, great! Venom's here.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It looks like you've got another
Oh boy.
in your hands.
This game is also
Fun
kind of
fact,
crazy hard on normal difficulty.
Fun fact: besides Avengers Academy, this is Nico's first like appearance outside of that game, like outside the comics.
Yeah, this and her appearance in Runaways is like the only time she's really done anything outside the comics, which is crazy.
Apparently she's gonna appear in freshman year if that show will actually come out.
Yeah, that would be nice. I don't remember if they announced any voice actors for that show, but
I think the only one we know is Charlie Cox, and that's it.
All right, let's see. Nico's abilities here. Nico in this game is voiced by the same actress that played her in Runaways. So,
nice.
If that's the case, maybe we can get her voicing her in the.
Because I know Quake's actress from Agent Shield plays her in the Marvel Rising animated stuff.
Yeah.
And I think was it Cloak and Dagger's actors in the show voicing the Marvel Spider-Man? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. They've been doing that more, where they're having like, some of the more lesser known characters will get spotlight.
And from what I remember, and I know essentially Daisy's actress was actually a pretty good voice actress for playing her in the Marvel Rising animated stuff.
We're gonna get out of the way here because I'm gonna do a crazy move with Ghost Rider.
Let's see. Brian Plaga, my local movie stores took out their aisles of Funko Pop and replaced it by Band Presto statues. You can find Band Presto. Yeah, Bandai's making creepy releasing their statues worldwide now. At least for their mostly because again they're probably cheap. They're not those $300 million statues you see on Twitter and such. They're usually about $30 and such. Next here, are the Midnight Suns team in the comics? Yes.
Yep.
Flecko O's, cause Geet's entry took a retail slot. I guess others would be P Bandai now. Well, even then, people buy extra figures to make all the forms.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too when entry became retail.
I'll say this now because we know 5 and Ava Ranger have 2019 members. Deka and Ryuki have similar members to maybe Sensei These are truly back now.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said on Twitter, you're gonna save all the Deka Ranger and Ryuki news into a separate video, so we won't fully talk about that into Sound. I'll make the video on those.
Yeah, the one with the Kamen Rider video, because I'm going to be talking about Kuga as well as mentioning Ryuki. That's going to be Wednesday's video. And then once my Aba Ranger DVD gets here, because I got that ordered today, when I ordered Deca Ranger and Ryuki, I will make sure to do a video on the Sentai stuff, and I'll talk about it there too. The one thing I will say is the packaging art kind of sucks on Deca Ranger.
Well, because it's literally because I'm not sure, is the stock photo like the team pose? Is that SPD
The team pose on the Deca Ranger cover is the exact same photo they used on the SPD DVD set.
Yeah, but was that photo taken for SPD or Deca Ranger?
It was taken for SPD because they don't have the weapon holsters.
Ah, okay. SG4 Jason, which ultras will you all want in the figure right center line now they're doing ultras? I mean, all of them.
All of them, especially Zet and Taiga and some of the others that don't have accessories included in their figure arts. I think I picked a really hard mission to do for our first outing because I'm not exactly sure how to beat this, and I think I picked the wrong team for it too.
Drumboard Gaming, aka my friend Owen. Have you actually played Midnight Sun Forbidden? How do you feel about the writing, especially the characters interaction? Is it more comic or MCU feeling?
Definitely more comic feeling, and definitely very animated Marvel feeling. Like this feels like, and this is also the case with the prequel shorts too. It feels like this is an animated Marvel show that you get to like play, which is cool. But I also would love an animated Marvel show these days because these.
I know people had mixed feeling about the Disney era Marvel shows, but I do miss them. Like it's the same thing where it's baffling we haven't got a modern day family DC series, and not counting Go and DC superhero girls, because I'm more talking about like your tradition. I mean, they had Justice League Action, and then they really screwed the ball on that.
Yep.
Like it's because that's the thing is like these cartoons are important to help people get into the comics, and especially for characters that there's because who knows how long since you adapt a character versus a cartoon where they definitely get that fast because they're out there that they're their own continuity and mostly focus on comics with only like some MCU tie-ins just because the upper mandate says to do it.
Yeah.
And such.
I know with this game they were given full creative control. Like they could use whoever they wanted. Like they weren't forced to use anything. I think it was recommended to them that they should put characters like Captain America and Iron Man and Captain Marvel in.
Oh yeah, because they want to put
that helps with marketing.
Yep.
But they wrote it into the game. The Midnight Suns characters like Robbie, like Nico, and all them. They actually there's some conflict in the game. So like the Midnight Suns characters who have been. Why did that attack Blade?
I'll give credit a lot. The game like the A-listers are in the game. The main characters marketing push is like Robbie, Blade, and Nico. Like like the only in the cover art, like the only main big players are Iron Man and Wolverine, and even then Wolverine. It's weird to say like he is a main mistake, but like due to the fact that due to the whole Fox MCU blah 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 thing, he hasn't really been in the forefront as of the late 2010s. So it's like it's mostly the only big boy on the cover art is Iron Man, pretty much.
Yeah, and I think that so they wrote it into the poor Nico got knocked out. They wrote it into the game that the Midnight Suns are kind of annoyed the Avengers are here. Because they're like, hey, dealing with demons is our thing. And so I'm glad that they wrote it into it, so it doesn't feel like a marketing thing to put the characters in. But I'll definitely say that, like... Oh, God. My hand is terrible. I'm probably going to lose this fight. But... Anyways, the fun part about it is that it doesn't feel like the characters are here simply because of marketing. it definitely feels.
I think it really feels like Marvel learned their lesson from Marvel's Capcom Infinite.
Yes, they did. Marvel games nowadays has been having much better time with. I'm trying to decide which card to get rid of here. Marvel games has been letting the creative teams have at it, basically. Like they're. I'm gonna make a really big play here. Marvel games lets the game teams decide what they're doing more so than mandating them. And like this game, for example, like they weren't given any restrictions. They were just told, hey, you know, here's what we have planned for this game. How many moves left? Yeah, Robbie's gonna die too. Just like his has left. But but what's really fun is that we got these characters. It's a wide variety. Nothing seems off limits. And the other
we have like let's see, we have Robbie Reyes played Magic, which I have to next see. Nico. Let's see. And they're like they're big players in this game.
Yeah, and I was gonna add because I'm just starting this mission over. I'm just gonna leave because I have the wrong team for that kind of mission. I needed somebody with healing abilities. Anyways, so with this game, it's the first of the modern Marvel games. If you ignore Ultimate Alliance, since that was kind of different. This is like the first of the modern Marvel games to not have an MCU direct tie-in. Like Guardians of the Galaxy. Why did it send me back here? That was weird. I chose to return to the main menu, but now I'm back at this point. This is not where I want to be. I can't do anything here.
It's not an Avengers game. It's not a Guardians game. Like they haven't made like a Midnight Suns thing in the MCU yet.
Yeah. So because of that, it feels more unique in a lot of ways. And that game's not slowing down. That's just the connection to the PlayStation slowing down.
I wouldn't have thought Hydra was actually capable of beating you. The world is full
Yeah,
of
I guess because
surprises
Blade was
these days.
trapped, it counts as a defeat. That actually had like a major defeat. I'm gonna restart the encounter and try this again. So, anyways, I guess my point is that Midnight Suns is fun, and it's nice to have some variety in the Marvel landscape besides just, hey, look, this is coming out, and there's a game that.
Interesting. They brought back Doctor Strange's and Marvel's Capcom 3 voice actor.
Yes, they
for
did.
This game. I'm surprised. It's not Liam O'Brien.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the voice cast in this game. It's interesting because like where we have some returnings from previous roles, like Brian Bloom as Cap, C. Bloom as Logan, and Yuri Lowen as Spidey. But it's like interesting to see like Josh Keane playing Iron Man because he played him in the VR game. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which would have been the most recent Iron Man.
Well, that's interesting.
Eric Limbick's back as Carol Danvers. Not surprised there.
Watch me.
The Darren D. Paul. Did Darren D. Paul voice Venom before this? Good check. I think he has.
Let's see if I can. Yeah.
I always find it funny that because of course we always have Fred Tatasciore as Hulk. I always find it funny that never could get a consistent actor for Bruce Banner.
Yeah, no, he's always different for some reason.
Well, as I said, Fred Tatasciore is always the Hulk, except for weirdly enough, Avengers, where he was voiced by Darren D. Paul in that game.
Yeah.
I always find that weird.
No, that's because I think that's because the Avengers game is like, we're not using anybody that's played it before.
Except for Travis Willingham and Lauren Bailey.
Yeah.
As Lauren, I don't know.
Another unwelcome surprise. This time it's one of the fallen.
Let's see, read more in the chat. Let's see, the Deca Ranger DVD looks better than the operating DVD, but the pictures at the bottom of the SPD image is a sample of the SPD bike. Decker Ranger DVDs. It's something PNG. No, JPEG.
Yeah,
See,
I definitely. I think in general it's nice that we're getting Deca Ranger. I do wish it looked better cover-wise, but I also am hearing that may not have been the final cover, and they just posted the temp one early.
I mean, I don't remember you said this in a Hero Weekly or on one of your videos, but I think it was a Hero Weekly where a lot of the Shout Sentai covers really do look kind of like homemade, like by your DVD store, like those old you go to like West Coast Video or your like Chinese like a Chinese Chinatown DVD store where it's like a bootleg rip of like Deca Ranger like with bootleg subs kind of look on their the covers.
It definitely does have like all the Sentai DVDs. They look very bootleggy, and I don't mean to say that as like a negative thing per se, but like as a
that's how they look like is at first glance.
Yeah, that's just what they look like, and that's the unfortunate part.
My big pet peeve with the Rider Blu-rays is like they actually about to make an English translated logo for 01, but Kuga and Riki get these like generic fonts like
block text
font text for the logos. Like
yep, it's kind of a problem really. That it's weird because is it just because Toei won't let them? Is it because they don't have the money? Like I don't know.
Well, because was the Gabba and Strider, no, Just Beyond, were those made for those DVDs?
Yeah, those logos were new for those Blu-rays. My only guess is that Toei made the English 01 logo because of the comic book and other things, and then Shout got to use it. But otherwise, at Shout was because they put the Japanese logos for Ryuki and Kuga on the sets. And I know with Ultraman, Mill Creek didn't make any of those logos.
Oh yeah, those are Sura made those international logos. How is the 01 comic, by the way? I have not read any of it.
I don't want to say bad, but it's not good either.
I just don't like the art style.
The art style is my least of the problems. Whoever is editing the book is asleep at the wheel.
Did one thing I saw on Twitter was that didn't they what Arito was using Flying Falcon, but they or was it either Flying Falcon or what was the Red Tiger, Flame Tiger?
Yeah, that was my biggest problem. Is he's supposed to be getting Flaming Tiger, but yet they drew Flying Falcon 4 times.
Drew or Photoshop? Let's be honest.
Either way, an editor should have caught that. That should have been flagged. I can't believe they got in there 4 times wrong. Because because the writer definitely wrote for Flaming Tiger, and then the artist definitely put in Flying Falcon. And the other thing too that's the problem is that they keep mixing up their terminology. Like they do these things where it's like sometimes it'll say authorized with a progress key, or sometimes it'll say authorized with a D, or they do this thing where the characters will say henshin, and then there's like a little text box that says henshin means transform, and then like Aruto later will be like, I need to transform, which is like very fan-subby and very weirdly inconsistent, and I think that's kind of a problem.
I know people get real. I don't know why people get so iffy when people like get antsy about when they translate henshin to transform, because I'm sorry, but that's what it translates to.
Like I really don't care either way how it's translated. My problem is that there's no consistency to it.
Yeah, but still, like people, I think some people don't realize that henshin is not a word that Kamen Rider made up for. It's literally just the word transform in Japanese.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's such a common word that we hear it most commonly.
Here we go.
That
And then you look, I just find like if you watch like the Japanese Beast Wars shows and they say Henshin when they transform because that's what they're doing. So I find it funny that the Predacons will go trans, like actually they go transform in the Japanese Beast Wars shows.
I will also add that the comic in general doesn't line up terminology-wise with it doesn't line up terminology-wise with the shout subs, and that's just it doesn't license writer to one people problem.
Question about the comic: does any to get people is it a good entry point for people who just go see the comic in the comics? Nope.
Not at all.
Really?
If you haven't seen the show, it's they try to explain things, but they're really bad at it.
Okay.
Got to stop
So it's like I was thinking, it's like, well, it's like if you're like your comic shop, you see that's like, oh, cool, Power Ranger 1, like, cool, Cyberbug Man. Let me go pick up my reading.
It doesn't
like
tell
that
you,
kind of
go watch the show on Tokusatsu, which is a mistake. It recaps things briefly, but that's about it. And the story's not that interesting if you've seen the show either, because so much happened, because it takes place in a early part of the show.
Is that the problem of it's a mid-school, so they can't really do anything major? Kind of scenario?
Exactly. Like Hirobi's still running around being mysterious on rooftops.
So wait, take place during the tens? The tens?
Yeah.
You say?
It takes place during the tens, and
That's interesting.
I think it's only 3 or 4 issues, but like, I don't know. Ragnarok's just bad guy at the moment. But that's because the first issue was doing all this work to establish the universe, when that doesn't help anything because it's not going to be around long enough. Like, it needed to be an ongoing or a longer miniseries. Like, Ultraman, yeah, the Ultraman comics are 5-issue miniseries, but they've done 3 of them. So
but they're their own,
their own continuity, yeah.
Continuity.
And the Power Rangers comics are as well. So, and same with the Red Man comics. Like, you could read all of them as standalone, independent versions of these characters, whereas the 01 comic doesn't work unless you've seen it.
I always say this when it comes to these kind of like when you're jumping. When it comes to like when you're jumping to a different medium or with racks a different audience, I always think it's best to make it a sort of its own kind of, or make it vague enough where you don't have to worry about watching the previous material. Because I think that's the advantage of the Gridman anime versus say Blue PI. Because I much really love Blue PI. You need to watch the original double series to really get to really like appreciate it and understand it. Versus Gridman, where you don't need to really watch the original series to understand Gridman, SSS, and Dynazenon. It'll help a lot, give a lot of context clues, but those shows are self-contained enough to you.
I think I actually won the mission by delaying the reinforcements and defeating Venom. Yay, strategy.
Like for example, with Gamma and Dynazenon, you don't need to watch the original Legend of Dragoon episode of Gridman to understand Gamma, because everything you need to know about Gamma and his story is in Dynazenon.
Yep.
So, like, it just watching the show just gives it kind of makes you appreciate everything more, versus for the PI where you don't really fully understand. Even though the show does its best to catch people up, you really do need to kind of watch the original series to kind of understand character relationships and such like that.
I think actually that's a good comparison. Like a 01 comic is like if Futo PI had less careful writing. Which, I mean, it's not to say that like it's a bad comic. It's just it's not like when I read like Power Rangers and was like, yeah, this is great, or when I read like Trials of Ultraman. I didn't think Rise was that great. Trials was like, yeah, this works, or Red Man was like, yeah, this 01 comic was like, okay. Like, I was going to buy it in trade as well to support it, but I don't think I'm going to buy it a second time. I don't think it's good enough. But again, it could change in the next few issues.
It's not gonna. I think it's pretty much. It's not gonna help Kamen Rider boost its knowledge in the West.
Yeah, I think it's another misfire of an idea. Real quick before we move on, I did want to show this cool feature is that you get a comic cover automatically generated when you finish a mission. So like this one is with Nico, but then you can also edit them to change what characters appear and like what pose they're in. Like you could have like Venom running behind her here. Like yeah, that would look cool. And then you can go back and take Nico and make her rotate. You change her pose to where she's like attacking at Venom. Let's see, can I get it better? And then I rotate, move her down. So you can kind of do this cool like little so you can do this thing where you can have the characters on a comic book cover, essentially, and it automatically generates you one, and then you can edit it to make your own. Like the lighting here is weird and freaky, so let's just do like daylight, flare lighting. Let's do daylight lighting. But anyways, this is just kind of a thing that you can do, and then you can take the photos, and then there's photo frames in the hub world where you can essentially you can put them up in people's rooms and stuff, which is really, really fun. But that's the game part that I just want to talk about. That's cool.
I'm gonna read more in chat. Let's see. Hopefully SG4J. Hopefully the Ryuki Blu-ray comes with the episode final movie. Did it confirm that or not yet?
Yeah, Ryuki comes with episode final's director's cut, which is great because the director's cut didn't even have a Blu-ray until recently in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, they left the director's cut out a lot.
It's missing, according to Splash Chat, it's missing the 13 Writer Special.
Yes.
Right on. Then let's head over to the shop. And...
No 13 Writer Special.
Oops. Almost spoiled the surprise.
But anyways, I completed a side mission with Ghost Rider, so Robbie Reyes is taking me over to the car shop.
All right, where are we headed?
Somewhere. Where we go?
It's not too far. I can't
see Brian
wait till
play.
you see
Any chance Malcolm in the Middle will ever get a physical media release? Who owns that show?
I'm not sure, but
Malcolm in the Middle. I'm gonna look up.
Told you.
Oh, by the way, fun part about this game is Peter Parker and Robbie Reyes become like best friends instantly.
Oh, good. That fits. Fits well.
Yeah.
It's owned by Fox, so Disney has it. So who knows what Disney? Who knows what?
I mean,
Disney's
for
ever
every
gonna
time I'm
physical
like,
media.
they're bad at releasing their home stuff. They're like, here's Proud Family in a complete set.
Well, I mean, this is Malcolm in the Middle is a Fox series, so like, how they didn't release, who knows?
Yeah, they still release Fox stuff under the Disney label now, but we'll see.
And as we do, we brainstorm
let's
ideas
see.
of what we could work on together.
Does the 01 comic take place at their Vold X Val?
Call it the shop.
No,
but
takes place
I
during the
see
show.
nothing for sale.
That's the beauty. For me, it's an auto
It's
shop.
at a point in the show where I don't
It's a
even.
workshop.
No, they haven't even met Jin
We're
yet.
both wondering what it's going to be for you.
Really, is that early?
Because I mean, then I don't know because I don't know if the key was supposed to because the key's supposed to be Flaming Tiger, but they show Flying Falcon, so I actually don't know where it takes place. But it's somewhere in that early arc because like nobody's got a power up yet.
Decorator comes out next month.
What was that?
Decorator comes out next month.
It's actually February. The order page says
Alright.
January because that was the original
I
date, but I
understand
think
why
it
the
changed to
two of you
February.
are here, but why
Alright.
invite me?
Caretaker always
Next
described
year.
you as someone
Actually,
who
kind of like
worked
how in
with their
Dragon, like
hands.
they had
You
their
made
shit on
things.
Kamen
You
Rider,
did the
or in
work.
like Amazon, they
So
used
we
it.
wanna make things with you.
Amazon, so it's
Help
unique.
you do the work.
Yeah, I like different henshin calls. They don't always have to be the exact same.
Ninja Sword Ranger
If
form.
you're so
Ha!
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
Let's see. I could either way. I
Know
can
that
see
Parker
Splash
gave
Dash.
you
I
a
could go
quick
either way, but
rundown
given they
on our
use
current
henshin in
project.
Japan and collusion
After
with
that,
English
we'll close up
terminology,
the shop.
henshin sound cards,
All
the
right.
henshin, the shoes.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing is there's a lack of consistency.
It's all pretty neat, huh? There's not enough here to give you a
Um,
tour.
uh,
By the way, this
Actually,
is now
We
the
want to
third
show
Peter
off our
Parker
first
face
project.
with Yuri
Don't have a
Lowenthal's
name for
voice
this
coming
yet,
out of it.
But if you run into Eddie again,
He looks so dorky in this
Venom,
game.
I know.
we think this could give you an
He's
idea.
he's in college.
When
He's
we
going to
found Eddie,
Empire
the
State
symbiote reacted
University.
strongly to your presence. It noticed something
But
about
yeah,
you
he's
and
in
it
college
stopped.
this time.
project takes advantage of this.
I haven't seen that much of this Peter, but I'm still not a big fan. I'm not a big fan in the Marvel's Avengers where they made Peter a streamer in that series in that game because I don't know. This doesn't feel. I don't see Peter Parker with his hectic lifestyle.
It's so funny
being a
because until you
streamer.
mentioned that, I forgot they did that because it was so minor that it never came up again.
I know. SG4 Jason. Am I the one who wants to see Ultimate Force Zero show up in the next
What does it do?
next
Our
Ultra Galaxy
first
Book?
prototype
Which
dulls
Ultimate
your
Force
presence
Zero?
around
Which
the
one is that
symbiote.
one?
Makes you harder for Eddie to notice.
Ultimate
Google
is that
that
the
one,
chest
'cause
armor?
I'm trying to remember.
Symbiote muffler?
Ultimate Force Zero. Oh no, wait, that's the team.
The other
That's
prototype
the
will help if you're ever caught in Eddie's
I always
tendrils.
call them the
It
Ultra
blasts a
Zero Force, not
distracting
Ultimate
subsonic
Force
pulse that
Zero.
should give you time to both
Yeah.
fight your way
That's-
out and hit him with a counter.
I'm not surprised the Ultra Zero
Like
Force is
your
not being
zingers
Ultra
that
Galaxy
keep him
fight.
distracted?
Because it's a shame, because I love those. I love that crew so much.
Besides, we need to have
Then we need to miniaturize
we need to have
it so it
Toad,
fits in your
Mario,
suit.
and
But
Luigi
we
in
can
this.
have it ready pretty quick.
Luigi together, yeah.
I look forward to seeing it in action.
So it looks like I unlocked a new shop where they can build tools, but basically it's like Peter Parker and Robbie are like, we're gonna go hang out in this garage and make stuff because Tony Stark's a jerk.
Scrounge enough components to finish this
Yeah,
project,
get the mechanical nerds together.
we'd have more
Yep.
options. I'll put together a list and send it to your Spark. Bring what you can next time you're here.
Speaking of social
Okay.
media, there's a social media site within the game for the superheroes to talk to each other, and there's some really fun interactions they have there.
Is it like Insomniac Spider-Man's not Twitter?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but there'll be times where, like, Blade is complaining about Tony Stark leaving a mess everywhere, and Tony's like, did you mean to tag me in this? And Blade was like, yes. That's the fun part. Let's see. Symbiote Muffler. I'm gonna get that item.
So,
Combat's
You know what's funny?
card-based,
better than
which
You know
expected.
is
what's funny
fine for
about
me.
Blade's voice actor in this game?
It's Michael Jai White.
he mostly does DC roles.
Yep.
Yeah, which I find funny.
I know he did a Marvel role before, but I can't remember which one he did.
shop.
I'm
What do you
looking
think?
behind the voice actor page. I don't see any Marvel thing. There's a voice acting wise on this behind the voice actor page.
I like how they give you options like this place is great, it's okay, or it's a dump. And I'm like, I'm gonna be nice. Jeez.
Because, well, yeah, when Michael J. White, he's let's see,
That's what we're calling our time
Spo and
See you
Sag
then.
Shock, Doomsday and Justice League, John
Parker,
Stewart
you
and
stick
Justice League
around?
Hero, Tattoo Man, Brave the Bold, and Bronze Tiger and Batman Soul the Dragon.
He also was
To that one.
Bronze Tiger and Arrow.
Like a spider web?
He was in The Dark Knight,
Don't make me roll up a new
and he was Spawn.
Not many of those left.
But actually, I
like-
think this is his first Marvel role.
Wait, which the original movie, like live action movies?
Yeah, the live-action movie Spawn.
Oh, really?
He's also a professional martial artist. So his when he voiced Bronze Tiger for Soul of the Dragon, that was a reprisal for him because he played him in Arrow.
That's cool.
That's about it. I'm going to stick around and work on this.
It was funny. I found this area earlier, this like little like side garage, and I was like, I wonder what this is gonna be for. And now it's like, aha, it's the,
Yeah,
it's the garage for the
sometimes-
car.
Sometimes I forget Doomsday can talk because I keep thinking Doomsday's just hulking monster, but no, he can talk.
Yeah, it depends on his level of evolution. So what's fun too is you can get these little groups. Like this is the shop class, so you can get like a T-shirt that's like, oh hey, here's a shop class. I have one that's Emo Kids, which is Nico and Magic's group. It's really fun, and the cool part too is you can set each hero's like outfits to what they wear in combat and also what they wear in the hub world. And there's a setting to make it change every day, so that they can have a different look. If you can have it change outfits daily. I'm gonna buy everybody shop class T-shirts now, so that way we all.
Comrade
match.
64. Should Image Comics make a cinematic here for their character? What does Image have now? Because I know they have Invincible and Walking Dead.
Image kind of has their own connected universe. It's just not cinematic because Image being creator owned, as in every creator at Image owns the characters they work on, which allows them to work on their own stuff. But it also means Image is very hands off in a lot of ways.
I'm kind of back keeping up with Image these days because I only know the Walking Dead and Invincible, and no, is Spawn still Image or is that like,
Spawn is still
oh,
Image. Invincible and Walking Dead are still technically under
Image, right?
they're still Image, but they're under Skybound because Robert Kirkman created them. He has his own company now. Todd McFarlane still was a co-founder of Image. He still helps run the company, and so all of his Spawn stuff is still there.
Because I don't think any of Life.
Hello,
I
fellow
don't think
shopper.
any of
Make
Liefeld
anything
series are
lately?
still going, like Youngblood and such. I don't think those are. I don't think
I
those
like
are
the
still
shirt,
going
but-
from what I've seen.
Also, photo mode means I can take a photo of everybody wearing their
How
Shop
does
Clash
how,
t-shirts.
how this game does your create a character? Does it is it mute or does they actually talk?
Oh, they talk. They're fully voice acted. You pick either a male body type or female body type, and then you get the voice associated with that body type. And it's Matthew Mercer's the male one. And
Yeah, Matthew versus male, and Elizabeth grew Lion
yeah,
as female. I'm probably mispronouncing that name badly.
I went for the female look because the trailers have been using the female hunter this whole time, so my brain.
So
could
like
not...
that's the quote unquote canon one.
Yeah, and so I just went with that. I gave her a different look. I gave her shorter hair because I thought her hair in the trailers and stuff looked ridiculous with the super long pony. Like, she's supposed to be a demon hunter. Like, why would her hair be this long? Especially because she's from hundreds of years ago. She would have practical hair. So I was just thinking of things like that. And so that's what I went with. You can also talk to Agatha's ghost because she just hangs out here. It's like, hello, Agatha. One of the developers live streams recently, they were like, oh yeah, we put Agatha Harkness in as a deep cut. And then, 2 years later, this game came out, and now Agatha's like a well-known MCU character.
Because she killed Sparky.
Because she killed Sparky. And so many other things. But they said that with a lot of these characters, like, they put Captain Marvel in because they thought, oh, hey, that'd be a different choice for an Avenger, but then now she's in movies and stuff.
It's like what happened with Square Enix Avengers, where that game
always glamorous.
It definitely came out during the whole Inhuman replaced mutants era.
Yep, because the whole storyline is based around. Oh, there's also a pool you can hang out at. This is totally a thing. You can invite heroes to hang out at the pool. They put this in because, like, 90s X-Men had a pool. It was fun watching the developer live streams where occasionally, like, yeah, we put a pool in because we read comics in the 90s and thought, hey, the Avengers have a pool, the X-Men have a pool, why not the Midnight Suns? I'm not going to spend too much time between fights. We'll do, let's see, probably do an intermission part now, because these battles sometimes take a while. Sometimes they'll go fast, and then sometimes they'll take like a half hour. But basically, you do a mission per day. You have a daytime and a nighttime. So you can talk to heroes and do stuff with them in the daytime or the nighttime. And time progresses as such. Let's go look at the social media site, because apparently Nico made a post. There's Nico complaining. Does Nico have a message? Oh, Nico wants to talk, apparently. Okay. So, also, currently I'm in the middle of a side story where we're planning a birthday party for Magic. So, that's fun.
You do? It's on topic. Thoughts on the Rise of the Beast trailer? Like this came out?
Oh yeah, the Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer was so good that it re-sparked my interest in Transformers like 1,000%. Because I'm really, really excited about it, because I love the way the trailer is I love the way the trailer is directed. I love the way that the Transformers look. I love the way that
people are really too harsh on the CG in that trailer. I didn't even think the CG was that bad.
I mean, this movie's also 6 months out.
Yeah, I don't know why so many people comment the CG.
Yeah, they do this every time. Every Transformers movie, it's like, oh, the CG looks rough. It's like, yeah, because it's 6 months out from the final film. But honestly, I think it looks great. I think the biggest thing that's helping it is just like with Bumblebee, the direction is really good because the transformations look like robot transformations and not shifting metal.
Yeah, that's the one that you notice. It's like how you see Mirage actually shift and move. Like, he actually looks like transform instead of just like mass shifting.
Yeah, and there's other things too in the trailer, like just the really kinetic stuff of like Cheetor running, landing on a rock, and front flipping into his robot mode. That's the kind of stuff that's cool.
Mirage actually using his Mirage powers.
Yeah, Mirage using his Mirage powers. You can recognize pretty much all the Transformers.
Except for Wheeljack, he's a minivan this time.
Yeah, he's different. Because I remember when watching the trailer too, I showed it to my parents, and my mom was like, "Oh, look at RC, she looks amazing," and I'm like, "Wow, you instantly can tell it's RC," because my mom was like, "That's RC, that's awesome." Because I remember she was very excited about RC in particular.
It's not Travis Knight who's doing the movie; it's a different director, right?
It's a different director. What movie did he do before? we're talking about Transformers, so I'm going to switch over to my intermission unboxing section of the video, of the stream. What I'm going to do is there any way to make this game quiet?
Probably just mute the place remote play as else.
Yeah, I'll just hit save, and
let's see. Splash, is it canon with the old Bayform movies, or is it in the new Bumblebee continuity? It's in the Bumblebee continuity. I think everything moving forward is gonna be Bumblebee continuity.
They said. I think they actually said. I'm just gonna. I just did a manual save, so I'm just gonna go back to the main menu because the main menu is quieter. Once you get past the dozens of logos. Oh no, they play music here too. You know what? It's fine. It's quieter. Anyways, so yeah, no, it's a new continuity. They did say that it was like a brand new reboot, which says to me, I'm just gonna mute the game because this game is so loud. I love it, but like, I need this thing to be quiet. There we go. All right, we're gonna talk now. we're doing a slight game intermission. But yeah, so it's a new continuity, and that's exciting because for too long we've had that same like weird Bay continuity.
Yeah, I mean the
that
whole
doesn't make
debate.
any sense.
There was a whole debate on like what is Bumblebee a prequel or his own continuity? That's
because the producers of the movie were like, it's a new continuity, and except for Lorenzo de Ventura, he's the one that kept saying, "Oh no, it's still a prequel," because he was like uncommitted to the idea of a reboot. But now they're just going in a new direction. There was a so I saw someone on Twitter have a theory that
that the Maximals are from the future of the original Bayverse timeline,
right, and they're coming back to prevent Unicron from arising, and that would create a new timeline. I don't know if they're going to go that far, and I don't think they even need to.
Because my guess is because essentially looking at the Maximals, they look very ancient, so they're going with more of the ancient Transformers.
I do think they're still from the future because that was, I think, stated in a synopsis that the Maximals are from the future. But
a theory me and Owen had, where it's like because we have the 3 Terracons, Scourge, Battletrap, and Nightbird, but like there's that big battle in the Chiller, which doesn't make sense. It was only 3. So we kind of theorized that they're gonna unleash the Predacons in the movie. Is a lot of people's Owen theorized is
that could be possible, which would lead to another movie if they want to. If this one does well, I think this is the if this doesn't do well, Transformers as a movie franchise is done. Which is also why I think they came out so hard with that trailer. They're like, look at all the robots.
Because the Bumblebee was positively received by critics, but it didn't do super big in the box office.
It barely broke even.
Yeah, that's the thing. It did well critically, but not financially. Is the problem.
Yep, and so that's why they're going bigger scale. They're bringing in Beast Wars. They're trying something different.
I mean, that's why they delayed the film probably.
Yeah, they delayed it because they're animating way more Transformers than usual, and on top of that, there's more. I think the Transformers have more dialogue because there's only like 2 humans in the whole cast.
And they actually got a bunch of actual voice actors also.
Yep.
Here.
Voice actors and YouTube stars.
Mm-hmm. I think I would always say that like Ron Perlman, I think is a good Primal. It's just Primal Shooty had bad voice direction.
Yeah, no, I think he's got the voice. I was just thinking about this. Someone put Gary Chalk's voice over movie Primal, and I was like, that doesn't work because Gary Chalk has this very nice, reassuring Primal voice, and that doesn't work for this. This look of Primal needs something a little more intense.
This Primal is more like Warden stuff like that.
Yeah,
like I can see maybe here because I think Gary Chalk could do it because Gary Chalk has range.
And yeah, I think he could do it. I just think that
using the Beast Wars, sounds like Beast Wars Season 1 Primal. I don't think it won't work. Beast Machine Primal probably would have been better because I think he had a more deeper voice in that show.
Mm-hmm. And actually, in a lot of ways, this is more Beast Machines because they're techno-organic beast modes.
I think which is a good move because I don't think going like regular animal to robot would look great in live action.
Yeah, because the thing is that they're going to be regular animals. They'd have to be a lot smaller, and if they're going to be a lot smaller, then they're going to be too small.
It'll probably be very not creepy looking to see like realistic animals mass shift into robots.
Yeah, like they're not going to make. So I think this was a smart move because it just it works better for just
the live action aesthetic.
yeah, the live action aesthetic, and then also just as a live action movie, especially because the thing is, there's another fact, the Beast Wars show, they didn't deal with humans that much besides the proto humans, so I think that by doing it the way they did it, they have to be bigger. They have to be bigger beast modes so they can be bigger robots, because otherwise it's just going to be very awkward overall. So I think it was a smart choice, and I think I'm really, really excited for it. I've ended up watching Beast Wars. I've started watching Beast Wars again.
I recommend, if you're on your Transport, I do unless you check out Earthspark.
Oh, I already watched all 10 episodes. I love Earthspark.
Okay, because that show needs a lot more attention.
I need it to have a lot more episodes because I really was I enjoy Earthspark. I thought the 2-part start was great. 3 through 7 were kind of just okay, cool. And then 8, 9, and 10 was like, yes, this is great.
Where Earthspark is, I think for me, is just like, because I'm glad the whole show isn't just action packed show. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I like how.
I like the slice of life stuff. It just wasn't that exciting. As a long time viewer of Transformers, I was like, this is neat.
I think
family stuff.
I think Earthspark is just a nice break from the norm. I love Optimus and Megatron on that show.
Yeah, no, they're great. I really like all the stuff they're doing with Megatron, especially. And so I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Starscream, and then also the new Terrans. By the way, this is the fun part. Transformers in 2022 really putting the trans in Transformers, because there's a trans woman voicing Nightbird in Rise of the Beast, which is amazing. And Earthspark has a non-binary Transformer. It's little victories like this, which is just really nice to see Transformers being way more inclusive, considering how many characters they have.
I mean, essentially the infamous Simon Furman Spotlight RC.
Yeah, like it's definitely we've come a long way from Simon Furman's RC stuff for IDW. And just in general, it does make more sense to have more variety of characters in Transformers. The fact that most of them were male identified, it was because it was from the 80s. But now that we have all this Transformers media, we should have more variety, and I love it. I love seeing the variety.
Especially when Nightshade and Earthspark, they literally were just born, so
yeah,
it makes a lot of sense to them not really figure out their own gender. So it makes a lot of sense to have. A person of freshly born Predaform to decide, not to have a gender.
Yeah, and I think that just in general, the way they handled it too was really well done. Where it was just where they were saying he and she don't seem to fit me properly. That's very true to a lot of people who are non-binary. Is that the gender identification of he or she doesn't. Neither of them feel correct for them, and I think that adding that to the show, and of course going through a robot is easier, but it is opening up the possibilities of storytelling, because I think that there is a lot of things that we can learn about the world through fiction, and closing off fiction from certain parts of the world or from exploring stories of different people ends up putting people in a bubble, and it narrows the mindsets of people as they go forward into life, and I think that's a very unfortunate thing. So I'm always here championing any media that can expand its diversity, and especially doing it with really well written characters is the best way to do it, because then it feels real. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox now. We can go back to the chat.
One of my favorite episodes my favorite Slice of Life episode of Earthspark was the episode. It's the Wheeljack episode where we have Alex and Mulby talk about just their heritage. It's nice to see that, and of course we have Twitch and Wheeljack, aka Dad 2.
I liked the Wheeljack episode. I really liked the episode where the kids had to go to school and the Transformers were like, "Why can't we go with them?" It's like the Mary Had a Little Lamb, the Transformers episode.
I love Twitch. I love Twitch so much. She's just
Mhm.
like this little goblin child. She is great.
I'm
Anyways,
looking
before we go
forward to
to
buying toys of this show. That's for sure. I'm probably gonna end up buying toys. I didn't buy any
bef-
toys for a
before
while.
before we go to the next questions, what are your unboxing before answering the next questions?
Yeah, let's because we're doing Transformers talk, so we're gonna do a Transformers unboxing live here. I got Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus in because he was on the Hasbro Pulse sale, and I bought this for a very specific reason, and it's not because it's Shattered Glass, but because it's also Delta Magnus. And I thought it'd be fun to open this while we talk. We can continue questions. It's not like I'm gonna be having like deep intrinsic thoughts on Ultra Magnus here, but we're gonna
Such a
crack them
smart,
open.
such a very smart move to include both heads. Like they didn't need to do that, but
I will
love
tell
they
you
did.
right now, if they hadn't included the Delta Magnus head, I wouldn't have bought this. The only reason I don't, it's not that I don't like Shattered Glass, it's just I don't have much purpose for it in a collection. I bought Soundwave because it's Soundwave. If y'all didn't figure out the sound in my sound out was Soundwave.
Is the headband molded on or separate?
It is actually molded on. It is totally a molded on piece all the way around, and it doesn't interfere with the transformation. So
nice,
that's
honestly.
really nice actually, because he's I mean, a few of them have new heads like Magnus does, but he's one of the new ones. I got Studio Series Jazz finally, because I thought they might do a non-clear plastic one at Target, but that didn't happen. So I was like, all right, I guess I should get him. But yeah, Magnus was 25% off, so I was like, okay, I'll do it now. Also, I should talk about this before I open him. His hilariously huge box. I want everyone in the stream to see this too. He is a leader class figure. This is a commander size box because this is the same size box as Jetfire. Which, by the way, I hate the Shattered Glass packaging because they always cave in, like right about here, because there's no support.
Is that that's just the problem with the plastic-free packaging. This that cheap cardboard Hasbro uses.
Yeah, and these are Hasbro Pulse
mean,
exclusives. They come with comic books. Like this came with issue 1 of Shattered Glass 2. But anyways, it's just funny because he's not centered. I think it's the funniest part about it is he's not centered to the window, so he looks like he's just hiding in this gigantic box he's in.
Because I don't think I don't think Hasbro
hilarious.
was planning to do. Because I don't think they're gonna do any more leader scale Shattered Glass
I
figures.
don't think they're doing any more Shattered Glass in the way they've been doing them because IDW no longer has the license. It's really weird to have a tie-in toy line to a comic book license that you just canceled.
Yeah, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me a lot of when Tomy had the Sonic license. They were releasing those modern and classic 2-packs of Modern Knuckles and Modern Sonic, and they came with Archie comic books. And they were about to release the next deluxe 2-pack with classic Tails and Metal Sonic with their modern counterparts.
And then the Archie comics got canceled?
Yeah, canceled. So they had to kind of quickly make something new because IDW didn't get the license yet. So they had to translate some Sonic the Channel comics to be the comic packings for those two.
Yep. So here's the packaging. So you can see how much room Magnus has to you could put a second Magnus in this size box.
That was Matrix?
Yeah, it comes with the Matrix, which plugs onto the sword for some reason.
Okay.
Anyways, I'll cut this out. What do we have in the chat? Do we got any questions in the chat?
That's the same sword Laser Optimus / Scourge comes with, right?
Yes.
Alright, so questions. Comrade 64, thoughts on the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films?
Let's see. Someone summed it up recently really well. Was that
right? Beyond the original Beyond and Into Darkness.
Yeah.
Right?
The Kelvin movies, which are essentially they're kind of a reboot, but they're still connected to the Prime timeline because they do this thing with Spock, so that way it's like, oh look, this is an offshoot timeline. We're not remaking the original series. I think at the time, I mildly enjoyed the first one. I did not like Into Darkness, and I love Beyond.
I don't think anybody liked Into the Darkness.
Yeah, there's got to be somebody, right? Like, everybody loves somebody. Like, someone's got to love Star Trek Nemesis, too, and I think that'd be insane, because I hate Nemesis. By the way, watching Nemesis in 2002 as someone that hadn't seen all the episodes of TNG, I thought that movie was crap. And then now someone that's watched all of TNG, DS9, and Voyager, as well as the original series, as well as the animated series, and all the current stuff, Nemesis still sucks. It's actually probably even worse now. I don't like Nemesis. Thank
But
you, Star Trek Picard, for giving us a better ending to Data than Nemesis provided.
I like to think of with Beyond, because I haven't seen Beyond yet, but I heard great things about it, is how it got snubbed at the Emmys for the original Suicide Squad for best makeup.
Yeah, no,
That's
Beyond
all
is
I can think of.
beautiful. Like the makeup work done is great. I think the only flaw with that movie, like only major flaw with that movie, is that they put Idris Elba behind like 1,000 pounds of makeup. Um, but honestly, like Beyond feels like a Star Trek movie, and it's funny because it's directed by a longtime Fast and the Furious director Justin Lin, who I would really like to
Let's
have come back
see.
on a Star Trek movie because he did a great job because he was a fan of Star Trek. And then adding to that, I will add that. So the thing I saw someone say on Twitter, I thought it was so important. They said a lot of Star Trek fans go back and watch the Kelvin movies and find that they enjoy them more now than when they came out, and they said they figured out why, and the reason why was because when they came out, they were the only Star Trek, and that they had to exist and they had to be successful for the franchise to continue, because there was nothing else going on in 2009. So there was more pressure on them as a fan to be like, oh, I hope they do really well because the franchise is riding on it. Now that, we're several years apart, Discovery happened, we're now got 5 concurrent Star Trek shows. The pressure's not there on those movies to be the Star Trek anymore. And I think that makes them a lot more fun because they are just a fun alternate universe thing now instead of being like the future of the franchise. All right, there's like rubber bands on Magnus here that I forgot about from the regular one.
Splash S54. Do you have a preference for Megatron alt modes, gun or tank, and etc.?
I prefer tank because I think the gun mode, while iconic and classic, just doesn't work.
It's impractical.
It's very impractical. I think tank is the best.
He was the very original Target Master.
I very much do like the double-bladed helicopter idea, like the dual rotor helicopter that Animated and Earthspark are doing that they've done. I think that's probably my favorite Megatron alt mode, but I think in general I'll take tank because a tank just works for Megatron. It also parallels to Galvatron well.
I like Race Car from Cybertron.
That one's so funny because it's technically a Galvatron alternate mode. Because he was technically Galvatron in both. Anyways, real quick here.
And Galaxy Force was Master Megatron.
Master Megatron, yeah. Here is Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus in his Shattered Glass configuration.
Where's the Ultra? So Ultra Head, you had to unscrew it, right? That's how they did Ultra Head.
Looks like it's just a ball joint. So it's it must be like the Creatures Collide set where you just gotta. Yep, this one's just a. It's just a pop and swap. I mean, I guess you could unscrew the back. That probably is a better idea, so you don't.
It might be safe. It might be safe. It might be safer.
It's probably safer to unscrew the back but I mean, I just popped it on. I mean, I like the skull head idea, but I like Delta Magnus. See that the sword doesn't work for me either.
Yeah,
with this.
I see that skull head. All I can think is it feels like if Death's head was a transformer and
Yeah.
not like a man.
So for me, this skull head's cool because this decayed Ultra Magnus looks like great evil Magnus. The sword is neat too. I think that's kind of cool. For me, the reason why I wanted this was because the original test footage for the movie had Ultra Magnus in these colors. These are the Diaclone colors, essentially. I mean, there's some slight variation. But the Diaclone toy, which was Powered Convoy, which this was supposed to be an upgrade to Optimus Prime, not necessarily a separate character. They brought it over as Ultra Magnus. In the movie, in the original trailer, and in a lot of the test footage, they had him in these colors. But he kept blending into the background of a lot of the shots because they're doing so much stuff in space. So they changed his colors to the light blue and white that we're used to. So it's kind of like they call it Delta Magnus on some release. I think the Masterpiece called it Delta Magnus. I really, really love this color scheme because
I think it's supposed to be a tribute to Delta. Was it Delta Convoy was the original toy?
Yeah, Delta Convoy I think was what it was. Well, whatever it is that I love the color scheme because it's sort of Optimus Prime but different. But then I also love just the story behind it because for me, I first saw this color scheme when I was watching the bonus features for the God, it was the Rhino DVD of Transformers the movie because they had the first
those
trailer on
originals.
it. They had the first trailer on it, and the first trailer showed Magnus in these colors. Because it was the second trailer when they refined they recolored him. But the first trailer had Magnus in these colors, and there was some more footage on the 20th anniversary DVD from Sony. So I've been like fascinated with this color scheme like ever since that Rhino DVD, and I never really got my answer until the Sony DVD kind of explained it. So I've wanted like a Magnus in these colors, and this one works for me because I got it on sale because I did not like the $63 price, even though I paid the $63 for Soundwave.
What's funny
But
because isn't the blue Optimus or blue Magnus underneath supposed to be another? Like it's like a triple reference.
it's like
Isn't
a
it?
triple
The
reference,
blue.
yeah. I forget what the other parts of the reference are. But I also don't have the Kingdom version of Magnus. I have the Siege one, so this is good for me too. I want to transform him before we go back to
I
the
would
game.
say, like I said, I'll say this: like I think the Kingdom mold is definitely improves a lot of the issues of the Siege mold.
Hmm.
Just I think anyways, reading the chat.
The Siege
S-
mold did win me over with the Robots in Disguise vehicle mode.
no, I love it too. I think for me, it's the battle damage, the dark. I don't like how dark the blue
He's
is on
very
the
dark,
Siege one,
yeah.
and my comic release have very loose hips.
Hmm.
So
I mean, this guy's not faring too much. This got one loose hip.
I mean, I'm kind of worried about the Studio Series movie Airraiser because just judging by Pterosaur, I'm thinking that mold's getting really badly mold degradation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever the other Air Razor is, the one that's like the different mold.
I think that's where the the basic line maybe.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like it more because I just like the look of it more than the Studio Series one.
Hmm.
Let's see, chat. Stephen Harris. Oh wait, no, wait, Robert James. Theories for Venom 3.
There'll be another symbiote. It's also like saying
I
water
mean,
is wet, but that's just.
do you think it's gonna be null for Venom 3?
If they go for null, I'd
Or
be impressed. I'd
I mean,
actually be
because
impressed.
after Carnage, who else could Venom fight?
Um,
And I don't think they're gonna, because they already did the full Future Foundation.
yeah, they've
Future,
already done the
the
Life Foundation, guys, so that's
the first
out.
movie. So I think they're gonna go with Null.
Maybe null. Yeah.
For alright, Steven Harris. What do you think about Shout Factory will release next for Kamen Rider now that they released Ryuki? I heard they don't think they will release OG series since there's a lot of discs to produce.
I would say that they should get the license. What they should do is say, hey Toei, can we get Agito? Because and then after they get Agito, just start going in order. I think.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, with this whole, I mean, Agito is a very popular series, so who knows how much that series will cost.
Well, the thing is, it can't be more expensive than Ryuki.
Yeah.
Because Toei, even if Agito, I think is more popular, Ryuki sells more merchandise.
The
so.
smart thing would be double, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
And also, this will come up in the video tomorrow, or not tomorrow. The video on Wednesday. But Toku HD still technically has Agito and Faiz, but I've been hearing from several people that Toei doesn't really consider them having Agito and Faiz, so we shouldn't worry about that.
Let's see.
Here's Blue Magnus, or the Blue Optimus inside the Magnus with his big old butt.
Let's see. Cyclos, CSM Kabuto Sector 1.5 just got announced. I think it just have a better henshin and put on sound.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to do much else besides that because they can't get the actor, because he doesn't want to work with Toei or something. And,
he's too busy cooking. He's too busy doing his cook show.
Yeah, he's too busy doing cook show. Like honestly, him and Ultraman Mabius's actor should like hang out and make cooking stuff together. Like Mabius owns restaurants. You know, Kabuto cooks. We just call it the Great Gathering of 2006.
Yep. Steve Harris, favorite suit and Geats thus far. Mine is probably either the Command Tycoon and Command armor or Nago Beat for my favorite suits and Geats.
I like Punk Jack Monster a lot, but that's because I'm a big Halloween guy.
I love how garish the colors are.
Yes, that also helps too. I love when Kamen Rider's just annoyingly bright.
Let's see. See Harris. Wait, no, wait. Psycholos. My friend went to New York Comic Con, and Team Ryerson next year will probably be a Reiwa show. So Saber.
Maybe Revice.
I mean,
Or
that's
because of sometimes how long it takes for Shout to get another show because I don't know, communication barriers or whatnot. Maybe it'll be Geets because who knows how long it'll take because we haven't gotten any shows since Ryuki or 01 streaming, so who knows. I see a bunch of people messaging me on Twitter, and I'm gonna assume it's because of the Kabuto thing.
See Harris. Now I think Five might be expensive. It's a very popular show. I mean, yeah, I knew a lot of them are. Let's see. Splash Jazz. Tokuichi also kind of has had Ryuki via cable video on demand.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't think Toku HD really is to. I don't think we need to worry about them. Like I don't think they're going to be stopping us from getting any shows. Because I heard they got all their licenses through Latin America anyways, and they just happen to stream in other territories.
See Harris. What about who owns Blade? Is Blade a very profitable show in Japan at the time, and even now, could they buy the license? You think, or does someone else own it? And also who is the guy who owns Fives and Agito? Tokuichi. Wait, I'm not sure about Fives, but I know Tokuichi.
Toku HD has technically Fives and Agito.
Okay.
But I don't think it's gonna. I think if anybody else wants to license them, Toei won't stop them. With Blade, I don't think I've heard anybody license Blade yet. So.
Comrade 64, do you guys think it was funny when Jim Kurt was trying to flirt with Uhura at the beginning of the 2009 film?
Jim Kirk in the 2009 movie, especially, is what everyone thinks Jim Kirk is, who hasn't seen the original series and has only seen the pop culture resurgence of Star Trek. Because Jim Kirk is not the college frat boy that he is in the Kelvin movies.
Yeah. I don't see Kurt. When that first one, I don't see Kurt. I see Chris Pine. That's all I see in the first movie.
And that's a thing is that cast is amazing, but there's some writing traps that just happen because it's just because of the nature of it. It's like Star Trek is transcendent, and therefore things get sort of out of hand at times. I'm also trying to remember how Magnus's trailer transformation works right now. I don't remember how all these parts go together.
You need to put those arms on you need to put those arm bits on the head, the chest, head, and back piece.
Oh god, yeah, that's right. Did they go?
They're just pegs. You fold out the chest piece.
I keep thinking of City Commander, where the shoulders and the arm guards came together.
How is it like digging those out again?
Oh, when I was cleaning and I was like, oh my god, it's City Commander. That was an experience. They did not. They surprisingly are holding up. But City Commander's shoulders are dead.
In terms of they can't move or they're broken.
No, they can't hold anything up.
Oh, just the tolerance is just
the tolerance is just done. They can't hold anything.
I mean, how is it picking up decade-old third-party toys compared to modern-day third-party stuff?
I haven't had a modern-day third-party to compare, but it did not feel good. They felt hella old.
How was the plastic on those? Because being the first third-party stuff for Transformers,
surprisingly, the plastic's not bad on them, but they're not up to current. They never were up to Hasbro standards, but they feel sturdier than Thrilling 30 stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Let's see. See here. What is Tokuichi? I think let's explain. So what Toku HD is to people who probably don't know about it, which I don't blame them for.
Toku HD is a streaming service that popped up prior to this current resurgence of Kamen Rider and Ultraman getting officially licensed and stuff. Toku HD essentially tried to create a tokusatsu streaming service prior to Tokusatsu. And the problem with that is that it seems like a lot of their unique translations for subtitles were done English second language, so they come out really weird. Like the Gridman subtitles that Mill Creek reused, that they only what is it? Mill Creek did some touch-ups in spelling, but not much in grammar. So some of the subtitles on Ultraman, like the Ultraman or Gridman, come from them, and they're not the best translations. They've sort of died off, and I don't even think you can subscribe to them anymore, but they were a paid subscription service for Tokusatsu. But
Well,
they've
I
sort of
I
started to
remember-
just fade in popularity because their quality's never been the greatest.
I remember when Agro came out with the infamous Honshin. It's a Henshin.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That was the problem with Tokyo HD. Is that their quality sucked. But they were officially licensed, but most of the companies are kind of not.
I thought the
dealing with them
Ultra. I
anymore.
thought the Ultra. Wait, did they get the Ultra series through Subaraya or Chayo?
I believe Subaraya, because they're still. If they were through Chayo, Subaraya wouldn't be getting using the subs anymore.
Ah.
But Subaraya, some of the Tokyo HD subs were great. Like Cosmos was fine, but like then there's others like Gridman where it's just like, who wrote this?
Let's see. Pirates Magus, where's my Kyoryuger anniversary movie? Wasn't that the Kyoryuger 10 years after? Not 10 years, 100 years after?
Well, I mean, in terms of if we're gonna get a Kyoryuger movie.
What do you mean? We got. I mean, yeah, we got. It's called Real Soldier.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
And then there was Final Force Brave also.
yeah, but that was a
So-
different show, basically.
Let's see. Do you think they should make a game based on Geats?
They should make a video game based on Geats. It's a perfect setup. I don't like how far back the missile launchers are officially on this trailer. I'm moving them forward. Why are they all the way back here? That just looks wrong.
I don't know. Psychos. I guess Shibuya would be simply cheap. Would it?
Theoretically, because it's like the least popular Heisei rider. Ta-da! There is Shatterglass Ultra Magnus / Delta Magnus in his vehicle mode, and it took me way longer to do than I thought. I'm not putting him back now because I'm gonna leave him like this for a minute.
It's conversation for favorite and least favorite Star Trek YouTubers. Can you say this without getting in trouble?
I'll just tell you my favorites because I don't want to talk about least favorites because I honestly don't have any. Like the thing is, I don't have least favorite YouTubers unless they're just like really horrible people. Like if they're like the YouTubers I don't like are people that like make up fake rumors that are they only made them up to hurt other people, like the really bad like misogynistic or racist ones.
Oh, you mean like the Quartering or Ryan Cove Levy or something like that?
Yeah, those people I don't like. But when it comes to most YouTubers, I'm like, look, there's some I watch more than others, but I don't really ever think about least favorites. In terms of favorites, though, Trek Culture's great, Trek Central's great, Trek Yards is great. There's some other guys that review toys, and I can't think of it. I think there's one channel called Star Trek Toys. I'm going to switch back to playing the game, and I forgot to switch cameras. Because I'm done playing with Magnus, because that was... I always kind of forget how difficult it is to transform him into a struck mode. But we're going to go back to the game. I'm going to figure out... Let's see. Let's see. Hunter found this scroll in the library. It's a spell that claims to grant great power. Do you want to try it?
Thanks, Hunter.
Anyways. So...
See here, Sentai seems getting easily acquired. I mean, for the older stuff, yeah. Modern stuff, nope.
Yeah. Alright, let me... so I'll be playing the game while we discuss questions and stuff. If anyone has any questions about the game, feel free to shoot them at me. Because I will be glad to answer them. And anything that's game related gets pushed up the queue. So if you want to
you saw the new indie trailer?
The Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Yes. I think it looks good. I don't think it looks necessarily amazing yet, but I can see why Harrison Ford's excited about it because it seems like it's got a great.
I think for me, since hearing this, how much a passion project Harrison is making this sound,
yeah.
I think I was gonna watch it for that reason alone because, he actually wants to make this movie.
Mm-hmm. He actually wants to make it. He's enjoying it. I'm gonna replace this card. I'm really, really excited for it. Because Harrison Ford is excited for it. Like that That's all I need, because that guy was stone-faced throughout all of his
He looks so sad.
all of his Star Wars, he was stone-faced doing press tours. He was crying at D23 when they showed this trailer, so I'm thinking he's really excited about it, and that makes me excited about
Give
it.
me a sec.
And Dawson the Guardians Volume 3 feeling?
First time I watched it, I was like, oh man, somebody's gonna die. And the second time I watched it, I started crying, and I don't know why, because, look, here's the thing with me in Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the characters, but I gotta say that, like, I didn't know the characters before the movie, and so after watching the movie, I started reading some of the comics, and then the Guardians video game came out, and I was like, man, I don't think the MCU Guardians are anywhere as good as an adaptation as this game is. And then I was rewatching the Guardians movies recently. I was like, oh, these are still like a decent adaptation. They're different, but I kind of like them. And then now that there's trailers like, it's the final chapter, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, as Gunn said, I think Gunn said, this is going to be the last time we see this version of the Guardians. Like,
seeing this version of the Guardians, and I'm actually like, oh snap! Let me pick these two cards. But anyways, I'm actually really nervous that I'm gonna have like, sort of like when I was watching Wakanda Forever, and I was having like huge emotional reactions because of the way that they handled T'Challa now post Chadwick Boseman. But, like, because that was, like, a real-life thing. But this is, like, I don't think I actually cared about the movie Guardians as much as I actually do. And there's a lot of soul-searching there. That's basically where I'm at with that. But, yeah, no, it looks really good. I also really love the holiday special. But that's also because I love MCU Mantis. Because I don't like comic Mantis.
Mantis and Drax are, like, the power duo of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I love those two so much. And then the little elf. And the little balloon elf. And yes, and watch the special. You want to see Drax beat up Psycho?
Yes, because GoBots killed his family or whatever. Or
GoBots is canon to MCU.
Yeah, GoBots are canon. But yeah, I'll also add that because I just saw it pop up in the chat. Why was I mad in the Guardians films? I thought the first one was okay, but I saw it after everybody was hyping it up like it was the greatest thing ever, so I think that also affected it. I really like Guardians 2.
I love Guardians 2 so much.
I love Guardians 2. I love the holiday. See, the thing is, I actually really do like them. The problem was the Guardians in Infinity War, Endgame, and
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Outside of Nebula and Mantis, because they're the best, like, legitimately, the thing is that the more Star-Lord that I read in the comics, I'm just going to switch to my camera because I'm going on a little side tangent, but the more that I've read Star-Lord in the comics, I really like the character of Star-Lord, and I really hate how much of an idiot he is in Infinity War. That whole scene with Thanos was ridiculous. I think that's the thing is that, like, I made this comparison recently when I was playing the game. I was like, This game version of Thanos has a lot of the more dude bro qualities that the MCU one has, more so than the comic one. But I feel like the video game Guardians are competent dumbasses, whereas the MCU Guardians, at least in the big crossovers, were incompetent dumbasses.
It's one of those, like, how are they alive kind of thing.
Exactly. Like, the whole Thanos theme was ridiculous. And I think that was... and what I realized is that James Gunn made these versions of the Guardians, and he knows how to make them the best, because when they're in the other stuff, they're not as strong. And so because we had that for so long, I kind of forgot what I enjoyed about the MCU Guardians, because they were not good. Again, outside of Mantis and Nebula, because they're so good you can't screw them up. And Rocket to an extent too, but like just the way that like they were in Infinity War, and especially Star-Lord. The way Star-Lord is in Infinity War just drives me up a wall. I think that's my problem with it, but now that I'm coming back to it, I gotta say that, like, I'm really looking forward to the third movie, but I'm also like, man, I'm probably gonna be soul crushed by this a little bit.
I think what it is I think having the Guardians be part of a bigger movie take away, because the best part of the movie Guardians is how chummy they are to each other. Like, they're a family.
Yeah, they all lived on the same ship for a while.
They're so. But you put them in a big movie with a big cast, they kind of get lost. that whole dynamic gets lost with the whole big crossover aspect of them.
Mm.
So like, it's one of those things where it's like if you kind of take them out of their their clique, it's definitely like noticeable when they're not written by Gunn.
Yeah,
is the thing.
And I think going forward, they should keep Mantis and Nebula because they can actually.
I think so. In terms of Guardians, I imagine it's gotta stay. It's gonna be probably Mantis and Nebula, yes. Groot, yes, but Drax, Peter, and Rocket are pretty sure gonna be gone.
We know Drax is out after this movie because Dave Bautista's like, I'm done. If James Gunn's not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, I mean, hold on, I'm trying. The problem is with this game is I'm doing a lot of reading while also trying to do
just talking.
But I think that for me, I'm also probably gonna get like devastated with Ant-Man, Quantumania. If you haven't noticed, I'm wearing the Ant-Man shirt the whole time. I love MCU Ant-Man, but that's also because I love Paul Rudd.
I don't get the hate those movies get so much.
They're they're smaller movies, but that's fine with me.
They're just fun movies. I just don't get why some people really trash them that much. It's like, fair, you don't like them, that's fine, but it's like ridiculous where it's like, oh, it's Ant-Man, who cares? Like, come on. Like, yeah.
Like, they took a character that has such an inconsistent and weird history and made him into, like, one of my favorite characters.
Ant-Man died, Danny, or Scott Lang, the character?
Scott Lang. Scott Lang's just been around and not doing much.
My problem with one thing I like about the Ant-Man movies, they actually give Scott a more consistent personality. The problem, it's always the problem with Scott Lang for a long time when before the movies is they always write him as I always dub Scott Pym.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Pym, where it's Scott Lang, but he's written like Hank Pym.
Yep.
That's always kind of a problem. I know that's such a noticeable in Avengers Assemble, the first couple seasons, where he's clearly written to be Hank Pym, but he's Scott Lang because movies. That's the version of the movies pick.
I'm not swapping.
Yeah, I definitely think
It is not about that.
I definitely think the Ant-Man movie's done a great job. I love the legacy thing. I love Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. I think he's great casting. I love that they got, Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet now. I think the characters all work because of the actors they cast, and they do a lot to kind of work with what the Ant-Man comics.
I told Nico, and I'll tell you. Magic skims the last chapter of a mystery.
I think also, I find it funny we talk about Ms. Marvel where they went too big for Ms. Marvel's first appearance. I like when now is getting the quantum stuff in the third movie. I like the first two movies weren't super big. It's like first movie.
I think it's because the first two movies.
Sounds like she would want to know about the.
I think the first two movies were small, kind of sort of filler in between Avengers movies.
They're heist movies.
They're like heist movies, yeah. I think this third one, because Kang's the villain, it's elevated it.
Outside the Midnight Suns,
this is going to be the bigger Ant-Man movie because of Kang, and I think it's going to be pretty great. I'm looking forward to it. Also, MODOK's in it. I love MODOK. I'm hearing the reason why the Funko, they put a Funko Pop out so we can see MODOK's design. He has a robot face. Apparently, I've been hearing, because a lot of stuff from this movie is leaked. I don't know who MODOK is, but they're hiding who MODOK is behind the robot face. So he's still going to have the big face. It's just going to be, they're hiding it for some reason.
That's the thing. I'll say this about MODOK. I know some people, I remember Coco, when a fan, there was that time where a fan art, people thought that was the real MODOK, but it was so stupid, people didn't realize it was fan art.
It was fan art by an MCU custom concept artist, so that made it really confusing. But people were like, oh, why are you being generic robot and all that? Look, as much as I love MODOK, I don't think a live action MODOK, I don't think will look great, to be honest. It'll look very
so beautiful, I almost cried.
It would look very disturbing. I mean, I already don't like the Square Enix Avengers game take on MODOK already.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
So,
it's funny how much Square Enix Avengers had a great setup for MODOK and Ms. Marvel, and yet the MCU was like, yeah, we're not going to use any of that. And I'm like, they streamlined it for you.
like them going with more robotic face for MCU, I'm totally fine with because that'll be the only way you can really make Mohawk in live action without make it kind of scary for kids.
I think that's also why Kang has the scars on his face and then they light his face blue instead of giving him blue skin. It just works in a more practical sense.
Also, speaking of, I think Guardians 3, I think it's High Evolutionary is the main villain.
Yeah,
of
High
Guardians
Evolutionary is the main villain, which also scares me because that dude has done some really, really messed up stuff in the comics.
Yep, indeed.
Only a monster would do that.
Let's see. Lord Scrub Gaming. With how good Spider-Man Guardians were, what Marvel characters slash group do you want to see standalone games for?
I was gonna say Wolverine, and then I remembered we're getting that.
We are getting that.
Yeah, we're getting Wolverine's a good one. I think. What else? Who else would I really do want a new X-Men game.
Are you firing me? Am I getting fired?
Do you want to be like a team? Do you want like a X-Men Legends slash Ultimate Alliance style game, or do you want it to be like a Marvel's Avengers kind of style game?
I would like something where you can
Really?
more Ultimate Alliance because
X-Men Legend. You ever played the X-Men Legends games?
Her hands are full.
yeah, like kind of like that, like where you have like multiple characters running around the field at a single time. You can play as multiple X-Men because it's just their team. They should be able to play as a bunch of them.
You ever played the Ghost Rider tie-in game where it was pretty much God of War says Devil May Cry?
Yeah, that one was actually kind of cool. I would love a Ghost Rider game, actually. Like, let's do a new Ghost Rider game, and it could go in that same style of like heavy combat stuff.
Character action game like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, and that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. As long as the story is written better than Bayonetta 3. I keep dunking on this game. I keep dunking on Bayonetta 3. If you guys have played it, you might know why I'm dunking on it. Because I love Bayonetta franchise. I love its characters, and clearly the story of that game did not. Anyways, what else we got in the chat? I want to make sure we answer questions.
Pirate Megas, give me a Blade video game. I mean, honestly, I can see like a Ghost Rider and Blade team up video game. And,
just make it like a supernatural hero game, like Ghost Rider, Blade, Werewolf by Night. Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night. I want to play as Werewolf by Night in a game. I know he's just a werewolf, but like, come on.
What was the Midnight Suns team in Ultimate Alliance? Blade, Morbius, Moon Knight, and Punisher?
And Punisher, yeah. But they also had Elsa Bloodstone in the game. And Ghost Rider, so.
Surprise birthday party.
I'm so happy to pick Elsa for that game because that was my major introduction to the character, and I fell in love with the character since.
She's so good.
I heard you hate surprises. I figured.
Currently, I'm going through the drama of Magic's surprise birthday party, where Blade's like, "You should tell Magic because she hates surprises and will act badly."
Just the Midnight Suns. Also Spider-Man.
Small crowd.
So anyways,
talking about games is I'm still waiting for a Batman game where it's actually a detective game and not because like
the closest we got was the Telltale Batman.
That game, but which is the closest we got, but that was still kind of scripted because story-driven game. I want you ever heard of LA Noire?
Yeah.
I want a Batman game like LA Noire where you're actually solving you play as Batman or Gordon or something. Like, you're just actually doing detective work. It's like I never like how
it's kind of like how the Star Trek Resurgence is like a point-and-click adventure Star Trek game, which is like the perfect Star Trek game.
Mm-hmm. I never like how in the art games your detective work was just turn on detective vision, find, ding, and that's it.
Yep.
You don't actually do detective work in the Arkham games.
All right, we're gonna do something fun here, guys. We're gonna do. I'm gonna do a poll for which characters are going on a mission. Let's see. We're gonna have options here. I'm gonna do one poll to decide which character we're gonna take, because I'm gonna take Magic because I got a boost from talking to her. Nico's required, so let's see. I'm gonna type these in as I do them here. Start a poll. We're gonna do which hero is joining us We're going to change the options here to be, let's see, we can do Blade, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Iron Man. Oh, okay. Apparently I can only do 4 options. What? Can I only do 4 options, YouTube? Also, apparently I can't spell the word joining. Apparently I can do 4 options, so I'm just going to swap Iron Man for Spider-Man, because it's Spider-Man. Alright. Here we go. Pull is up. I'm going to let this run for, like, a couple minutes while we answer questions. So when we're done answering questions is when the poll will end. So, let's do, so what else we got in the chat?
See, I just want a DC game that's not Batman or Bat Family.
I hear you. There's a Wonder Woman game apparently, but we saw like 2 seconds of a teaser. Game Awards.
Whatever happens to that Suicide Squad game?
I don't know. We never saw gameplay for it. They showed us 2 trailers, and then they were doing like this annual. You get an update on it at DC Fandom, and then there wasn't a DC Fandom this year because Warner Brothers sucks. So who knows what happened to the Suicide Squad game? But then that game also was slightly dumb because it was like Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, except you can't kill Batman.
They said kill the Justice League, but like we know they're not gonna actually kill the Justice League.
Yeah, I think it was probably going to turn out to be the Crime Syndicate or something. Who knows? We've heard nothing on that game. It was supposed to be for 2023 from the beginning. I don't know if it's going to come out, to be honest, because
the whole Discovery.
Yeah, it could have been quietly canceled for all we know.
I mean, Ed Boon said like they're still working on whatever the next NetherRealm game is. Either that's gonna be like, Injustice 3 or not. Yeah,
it's gonna be something.
Yeah. I really want actually a good Green Lantern game.
Green Lantern game. I want a Superman game. My God, why do we not have a Superman game?
I mean, we do. Just most of them are not good.
I know. It's not hard to make a good Superman game. It's totally doable.
I kind of like Shadow Apocalypse, the tying game to the animated series.
That one's not bad. I will also say that Gotham Knights is a game that exists. That was my biggest disappointment of the year.
Honestly, better to let Gotham Knights live and breathe on before building up Suicide Squad hype.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, but I think Gotham Knights is a little dead in the water because
unless we do have the Game Awards this week though, so who knows what's gonna be announced.
I hope we get a trailer for Spider-Man too. But
I think we are.
I think I know we're getting a Star Wars Jedi Survivor gameplay reveal, which I'm super hyped for. But I was gonna say was the Gotham Knights. Unless you're playing that game multiplayer, it's not fun. All the fights are built for multiplayer, and all the boss fights don't adjust if you're playing solo. And unlike a game like Avengers, in Avengers, if you're playing solo, you get 3 CPU heroes. In Gotham Knights, if you're doing solo, you're playing as solo. And I think that's a problem because if they're not going to scale the boss fights to 1 character versus 2 characters fighting it, then it needs to give you a CPU backup. Because the thing is that with the game also being exclusive to like the current / next gen consoles, the player base is really small. So it really causes problems of trying to get matches together. All right, I'm going to end the poll because no one's been voting in the last like minute here. I'm just going to find my mouse.
Oh, so it looks like a tie between Blade and Strange. So do we have should we two-face it?
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we have a tie between Blade and Strange. You know what? I think what I'll do here is I'll just split the difference. We'll just skip. We'll take Magic off the team, and we'll put Blade and Strange on the team, and hopefully this team turns out good. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna switch Blade's costume just to be a little different because I have the option here. But yeah,
remember to switch back. Remember to switch back. Windows.
Oh yeah, switch the. I gotta get used to remembering to switch windows. There we go. All right, put that away. Okay, so we're gonna go with Blade's '90s outfit because that's an option. And I think Doctor Strange will go. Yeah, let's keep Defender Strange. That looks good.
Do we have do we have Zombie Strange?
Sadly, no. Select hero to cure, gain 1 redraw free. Yeah, I'll just do the. Yeah, that's fine.
How can you do a Superman game without being just let me zap you? Hey, I win with a small villain. I mean, you could just have every villain be like you're just stronger, or I mean,
if you want to get
Superman
technical, in Avengers, if someone gets hit with Thor's hammer once, they should be instantly dead.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a video game. They need to stop taking the logic so serious.
That's the problem. I feel like people they focus too much. Like Superman can literally do everything. Like so, like
Kryptonite
I
exists.
mean, the thing is,
just have the enemies equipped with
also,
kryptonite if you're that worried about it.
I mean, also just like I feel like a Superman game, you should just be focusing on just saving people. I feel like you're gonna make a Superman game. I think your main goal is just be like the best Superman you can and save people. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the best in that case, any Lego DC game is the best Superman game then, technically.
Oh, dang. I tried to throw a dude off the edge, and it didn't work out.
Hydra manages to attract new recruits despite decades of ineptitude.
Let's see, can I actually, like, take a dude out, and then take out 2 dudes with 1 move?
Let's see. Lord Scroll Gaming, how do you feel about the card system in the game? Is it the random nature fun or frustrating?
I actually don't mind it. I think the fun part of it is because I love playing card games. Like myself, I love playing card games. So that's like part of it.
They announced Dragon Ball card games playing in digital version. I actually might try it now.
I know. I saw that all the Digimon
please.
fans were instantly crying.
Yeah, but it's like that's what I mean. It's like please make a Digimon one soon, please.
Yeah. So with this game's card system, the random really comes from what cards will come up. But it kind of does give you focus as to what to use, and then you have to like kind of strategize. All right, am I redrawing, or am I going to try to use these cards? And yeah, that's just like, you know, any card game. The nice part is that every attack lands. Like every attack is going to land. It's just what kind of damage can it do? Can you knock back into the environment? It gives you like a really good 3-dimensional sort of feeling to it. Which I think is great because you can kind of work things out better. You know, by again having that sort of 3-dimensional feeling where you can use the environment, which I know I keep just shooting dudes with blade, but like there's all kinds of different options where like right now I had to disable this helicopter, so I'm gonna see if this curse that I'm sending with Nico is gonna work. Nico's stuff is more random because that's just 2 power set. Oh wow, that did 40 damage.
By the way, just letting you know, Sound. We have about 20 minutes left if you want to keep the stream 2 hours.
Cool. I think we'll finish this battle unless I fail it, because I think I can beat this in one go. See, I got 1 more card left. Let's see if I can. Can't quite knock out the helicopter. Let's see if I can knock this dude out.
Usually works.
But yeah, so I think I like the card system. I've been playing this game a lot. The other part I do enjoy is just in general, like, moving around the hub world, talking to the heroes, because I'm a big Marvel fan. That also, like, adds to it. I like these characters, so I want to spend time with them. I know for some people, that may not be a thing they want.
Yeah, that's why I love the Ultra Alliance games so much.
Yeah, and so I think that's what I really like about it, is that, you know, being able to play as a new hero is great, and then being able to play as these other characters in this setting is really fun too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end this turn. Let's see, where am I at health wise? But anyway, so I like it. I really like this. This is just up my alley. I love tactical strategy. I love Marvel stuff. I love the supernatural characters, and I love, you know, when you can like build relationships with characters and it results in battle effects.
Social link stuff,
yeah. So I really enjoy that. I know this isn't going to be like a game that's going to be for everybody.
But
it's really fun.
Now seeing the game, I actually might pick this up eventually if it ever goes on sale. I do like what I see of this gameplay from the stream.
Yeah, the other part too is that right now, because they haven't released. They're gonna release it eventually on like PlayStation 4 and Switch and such. They just delayed those versions so that way everything could be optimized better. Let's see. So everything just got added damage. Can I take out the helicopter?
You got Marvel stuff. I recently picked up the Retro Card Lizard figure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good figure. I never pick up I never built the Monster Lizard figure from the few waves ago. Oh, well, I say few. It's been years.
Yeah,
years
I like
back.
the giant monstrous lizard. I'm looking at him right now. I love that dude. The giant dinosaur.
I will say, because I think I might prefer, because the only one I got was the Gwenpool, because that Gwenpool self form. I much prefer the tail over the pipe cleaner tail, because the pipe cleaner, while nice, the tail can barely move. It only really move at the very end of the tail. So like, I kind of wish I had the tail with multiple hinges, because like you could very restricted. But besides that, he's a really great figure. It's nice to have.
I've been trying not to buy the new Spider-Man villain redos, but like I keep seeing it. I'm like, man, maybe I should have.
Yeah, it's good for me because I miss out on all of them, so it's good for me to get all these ones. I also did they ever announce that '90s animated series Spidey figure?
They announced it. It was just like
okay,
it was announced when the stream was dead during PulseCon, I think.
Okay, cause I saw that it was at Walmart. I saw they had the Lizard. I saw the Spider-Man. And it wasn't the original Retro Spidey. It was specific based on the '90s series. I'm like, when did they announce this? I always knew it was coming because of the listings. Yeah. But I was like, was this actually announced kind of thing? I was really confused. Like, when did they ever announce this? I would get it, but like, I'd rather get the Renew Your Vows set because that toe I just really like that look of Spidey more plus toe articulation. Because I still didn't get that set. I can never find that at retail, so I just probably could order it from Amazon.
Yeah, probably good getting the order. It's been going on sale a lot frequently too. But yeah, I got Scorpion on the way though, because I really don't like the Scorpion we had before.
I hate that face sculpt.
Yeah, the color. It's the color scheme because the sculpt's fine because they use the same sculpt on the retro.
Just they paint the mouth on the.
Yeah, they painted the mouth in. I will also probably pick up Vulture because I didn't get the classic Vulture before. Alright, I'm going to do a hero combo for the first time because I just unlocked that recently. I'm going to go against this strong dude here. It's going to be Blade and Doctor Strange, as voted upon in the YouTube chat. They're doing a combo together now.
Just thinking about it, I've completed the Wave 2 of the Sonic Movie 2 figures.
Nice! I got Supersonic.
Yeah, I got lucky because I got Tails, I got Knuckles, so when I went to my Target, they had that one, because I think Supersonic pack one per case. They had that one Supersonic, I got it alongside the normal, Wave 2 powered Sonic. So now I completely Wave 2, so like, fine, I never got the Wave 1 Knuckles because I could never find it, because I could never find any Wave 1 and stores, so they're listening better to the movie figures. So, like, is it also like this in your area where they put the movie figures in a separate aisle from the main line figures?
That's the case at, That's the case with, Target. At Walmart, they're all in the same area. Yeah. Well, Walmart had them in, like, 4 different places, and I found, holy cow, I think I double KO'd using a random effect with Nico. That's pretty cool. But I think that it's kind of weird when I look for them. But yeah, I got Supersonic, and I'm like, I don't know if I want the other 3 because I have the first releases.
It depends if you really want. I mean, they're all besides Tails. Tails is the only one that's not from the movie because it's a concept art. But it really depends if you want the accessories.
Yeah, I don't know if I need the accessories, and I don't think doing a video on them now would be useful because of how long it's been.
I mean, that's what I was saying because I think the accessories are all good because I like how they're all important to the movie, like the ring, the map, the bag of rings, and Tails' boomerang and the backpack. Like they're all from the movie, and also props for the master and movie master not just being a reuse of the main game Chaos Emeralds, and the master emerald that comes with Chaos Zero, the different mold is also hollow and not like a full resin piece.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, some people are very fine label the Chaos and Big Wave already in stores. I still get to find Vector. I say get to find Vector. I keep seeing Ray everywhere, but I can never find Vector.
That's so weird. Yeah, it's always weird when you can find one but not the other. Let's see. I think I can finish off the battle here. See if I can chain these two together. KO. Hey, double KO. Hey, I double KO with Blade.
We have done it.
That was
Well,
it. Alright, we won that mission. I'm not going to start another one. But, hey, at least we went out on a win.
We only had 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
I mean, what's nice is they're really, you know, the Walmart, the Walmart 2-inch figures you get, those like the counter checkout things. They're doing in near way with Classic Amy, which I'm glad because I never found Classic Amy or Knuckles.
Oh right,
at all.
Yeah, I got Classic Amy and Knuckles at a Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. So I'm glad they're doing another release of because I know they're also in at least normal Classic Amy's in the advent counter, but there's also that big 5-pack of the 2-inch figures I can't find, even though I would want that. Even though I would get doubles of Sonic and Tails.
Yeah.
But still, like I still need to get Classic Knuckles and Amy. And technically Classic Amy, because the one the Eggmobile is a different mold technically. I did found the Spinny Tails and Silver 2-inch figures at the Walmart.
Yeah, my Walmart doesn't get those checkout counter figures for some reason, which is.
Well, I mean, it's either they don't sell them or you can't find them because they always rent them because because sometimes like you'll display them in like a big like area, like they're in the checkout area, but they're in like a one place and like one shelf full of the other stuff you find on Walmart on the checkout counters. So they'll be there, but sometimes they're actually in each of the checkout lanes. Which, man, it's really awkward to just go from lane to lane to see they have them and not look like a weirdo going lane to lane to see they have certain figures. Anyways, chat, Pirates, how was Revice?
I didn't like it. I can say at this point, I simply just didn't like it. There was characters I really loved, like I loved Jean and Aguilera, but most of it just didn't work for me.
Love Cove is Love Cove.
Love Cove is best Cove.
Again, I'll say this always. I'm glad Geese is really good. That it's like the first writer show I'm actually watching week to week again.
And Geese is unpredictable still, which is really awesome because I love unpredictable shows. Every time I think it's going somewhere, it just swerves in a different direction, and I really like that because it makes it much more interesting to watch.
All right, everybody, get your last-minute questions in.
Last-minute lightning round questions on the Monday live stream. Let's find out if I can transform Ultra Magnus in 7 minutes. This is going to be my challenge. Can I transform this guy back? I think it's a lot easier putting him in robot mode than vehicle mode for sure. But
favorite and least favorite incarnation of Ultra Magnus?
Let's see. Even though I love the design of the robots in disguise Magnus, I don't like him that much.
He was a jerk. He's a jerk.
He was just kind of he was a jerk. Favorites?
I love animated. I like anime Ultra Magnus because how kind of an old wise mentor he was.
Oh, wise mentor was cool. He was. I think probably my favorite Magnus was Prime.
Yeah, Prime is. I think Prime is really good.
He was really cool in Prime. Like he had a coolness factor to him. And I like the idea of Magnus just being Hammer Guy now. That's a cool thing. Animated.
Thanks to animated.
Yeah. I just remembered that his truck cab slides up his back.
Yep, so you can pull his bum. You can pull his bum up to be a backpack.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I also do have an affinity for G1 Magnus. I think he's my favorite.
G1 Magnus is great.
He's my favorite of the movie crew. Of the Transformers that debuted in the movie, I think Magnus was my favorite. I love his design. He's not the greatest leader, but he's not supposed to be. He's a great commander. That's where I'm at now. Open, damn it, open with this trailer part. There. Yeah. So I really Ultra Magnus is a lot of my favorite Transformers are Decepticons, but Magnus is one of my favorite Autobots for sure. Is he my ultimate favorite? No, but he's up there.
Well, I'm a hot Rodimus fanboy, so that's my biases there.
I like Rodimus, Blur, Cup, Springer,
I love
RC. Oh my god, I love the movie. What a surprise!
like one of those human fans that really love season 3, even with its faults.
I think season 3 is better than season 2, to be honest.
Season 2, the problem with season 2 is just say, since it has the whole, they order so much episodes, so it's one of those like, quick, we must come up with this many plots.
Yeah, it was like we went from 13 episodes to 52. It's the same problem that happened to season 2 of Gargoyles, where they suddenly had like quadruple the number of episodes to work with, and like, what do we do?
Because same thing with Batman anime series. Since they, there were 60 episodes season 1 technically, so like, there's definitely some.
They got a full syndication order out the gate. That's what it was.
Because we just finished watching the initial run of animated series, and I still think that holds up so well. But there's definitely episodes where they only wrote it because they needed to fill out the episode counts.
Yep.
Let's see. Pirates Magnet, Kamen Rider Outsiders. What is going on with that? What is that again? Because I don't really follow
That is the Toei Tokusatsu fan club. We're wrapping up all our weird cliffhangers show. It's getting released at a very weird pace. I was gonna say real quick. We got episode 0 of Outsiders in like October, I think, and then episode 1 doesn't drop until January. So they're like several months apart. Episode 0 was following up on the Gem Thouser stuff.
Yeah, because the Toei Tokusatsu Club writers have been doing this ongoing story for a long while now.
It's because the same writer keeps writing in weird cliffhangers, thinking he's going to continue it, and we've been doing this weird thing with like Gem and Thouser in a competition, and it ended on this tease of a new Smart Queen that's Mari from Fize, and episode 0 was about like Gem fighting Mari because she's now Delta, or Smart Queen. We don't technically know it's Mari, I think. I don't need to watch Fize. But the next episode's focusing on Oja, and there's going to be one on like Kenzan. So it's just like it's going to be all these like random writer characters, and they're going to all converge at some point. It's probably going to connect to the Foundation X stuff that was from Spectre Blades. I need to catch up on. I need to watch Ghost and Fize so I can fully grasp everything that's going on. But it does seem like they're trying to get all these weird random cliffhangers all tied up together into one little thing. I complete my challenge. Magnus is in robot mode again. That's a fun. It's a fun mold. I don't think I need to go run down the Kingdom one for the normal color Magnus because I'm cool with having this guy. But I'll give Toei credit. They actually tried to include those leftover storylines at least. Yeah, they're not just abandoning everything like we thought they were. Let's see, did Takumi and Mari ever end up together? I don't know. I don't have no idea because I've seen about 8 episodes of Fize because I struggle with that show's early stuff because it's very melodrama-y and very slow, very in a way. But I know some of the later stuff. I don't think she's been around in the post-show stuff. And now her actress is playing Smart Queen, which I don't know if it is supposed to be Mari or not because I haven't watched episode 0. Because I'm waiting to watch. I've been saying waiting to watch Fize. I could watch it at any time. I just don't want to. I just need to get around to it. Fize, like it's just too depressing and too mean-spirited for my taste. Yeah, I don't have fun watching it. What I need to do is just like put it on while editing something and then get the highlights while I'm working. It's just like if I have the option of watching Fize, or I could watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or I could watch City Hunter. I just finished Ultraman Ace. Didn't they announce a new City Hunter movie? Cat's Eye got a new thing. I don't know. Is there a new City Hunter movie? I know Discotech's got another release coming out, but I heard something about that. Cat's Eye is crossing over with Lupin the Third. Do you think Ryder needs an Ultra Galaxy fight? Where just the suits and the actors just voice over it? No, because I think with Ryder it doesn't work when you just have the suits and the voice actors because Ryder is a very human story, and Ultras, that's just who they are. That's what they look like. Ultras are just them. Yeah, it works for Ultras. Just having voice actors for Ultras just works perfectly because they're aliens. That's what they look like. That's what they look like. There's no question about it. Whereas with Ryder, it's not Guy in the Drive X-Day Ghostly where he goes Frankenstein audio. and the thing is too is that it doesn't look weird to see an Ultraman without the human host, but it looks weird for a writer to not transform because it's all about, like, writer is all about humanity, people's ideals. Oh my god, the best news for Disneyland just came across my notifications.
What?
They're closing Indiana Jones Adventure for a lengthy refurbishment. Thank God.
That's a good thing.
This is a good thing. The last 2 times... Okay, so Indiana Jones, as people know, is one of my favorite things ever. I love the Indiana Jones ride. I had a great time when I rode it in 2012 when I was at Disneyland. In 2018, it was great. In 2021, it froze 7 times because of mechanical problems. And then in 2022, when I went recently, it got stuck for 2 minutes in front of the boulder scene, and the boulder didn't roll, and it was really anticlimactic. That ride keeps having operational problems. There's too many effects. It keeps shutting down. It keeps freezing, and it needs a refurbishment badly. And with the new movie coming up, I was hoping we would get news that Disney was going to take it offline for a few months and really work on it. But that's just what the news that just came up. So I'm very excited. Hopefully, next time I go to Disneyland, which maybe will be 2024, it'll be running good again. The ride's 25 years old, and it's very, very technologically complicated, so it has issues. Like, I don't ever expect every ride to be perfect, but I've not had luck lately, and a lot of people have been saying that it's just been running really poorly. So, anyways, that's my little side tangent.
Okay, so
it should never be excited for a ride to close for refurbishment, but in this case, yes, that is exactly what I'm excited about.
Well, that's the final topic. We're now 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Eastern Standard Time.
We are at the end of the stream, so thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be doing this whole thing again next week, same time, same bat channel. Wednesday there'll be Kamen Rider Blu-ray video. It'll be half about Kuga, half about Kamen Rider's current standing with licensing.
Will Soundout ever talk about the Hazard Robbie Reyes? Will he ever find out what happened to Double Climax? And will he find review Smarties again? Find out next time.
Spoilers, 2 of those things aren't happening. Also, for those wondering, I will be covering all the HasLabs of the year, plus Eternia, when Death Stars is closed. So it'll be like a week from this Friday. I'll have that. Also because I want to make a point, and hopefully we'll have sales figures for Midnight Suns by then. But stay tuned. Exciting stuff in the future. And follow me on all the stuff below. All the stuff below there. Follow Ryan on Twitter at DarkClaw643. And I'll see you guys all next week. So, goodbye.